Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly felt a weight on your shoulders, an exhaustion that made no sense? Have you ever talked to someone who, after the encounter, seemed to have taken all your energy away, as if they had sucked you dry? Or on the contrary, have you ever noticed that certain people always approach you when they are feeling down, cry on your shoulder, complain about life, and then leave feeling light-hearted, while you are left feeling destroyed? If you have ever identified with these feelings, it is time to pay attention, because you may be living without realizing it in the midst of a spiritual phenomenon known as energy vampirism, a phenomenon that may be affecting your soul, your body, and even the course of your life without you even realizing it. And make no mistake, this is not a joke, this is not a fantasy. The energy that circulates among us is real, and it moves silently. Some call it an aura, others an energy field, and some see it as deeper spiritual forces in action. But the fact is that we are all at all times exchanging energy with people, places, and situations. And this exchange can be beneficial or deeply destructive. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. About the signs, the dangers, and the ways to protect yourself. Because it's not always the enemy that knocks on the door. Sometimes he's already sitting right next to us. Before we continue, leave a comment below if you've ever felt this way. Have you ever been through something like this? Do you feel like you absorb other people's pain easily? Or do you feel like when you're feeling down, you end up carrying everyone around you with you? Comment here, I've felt this. And of course, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe now, like this video, and share it. It's very important so that we can continue to explore the mysteries, secrets, and hidden truths about spirituality and energy. You've heard that we're made of energy, right? But what almost no one tells you is that this energy vibrates, expands, and connects even when you don't want it to. And do you know what the problem is? It's that there are people who, without even knowing it, become energy suckers. They're like spiritual black holes. They live in complaints, drama, and despair, and every time they get close to someone, they suck, pull, drain. And when they leave, what's left is a trail of exhaustion, discouragement, and even physical symptoms like body aches, drowsiness, and headaches. But don't think that this is always intentional. Energy vampirism can be unconscious. Sometimes the person who sucks is also suffering. They're also hurt. And because they're spiritually open, needy, and empty, they need energy, and, without realizing it, they seek this energy in the connections around them. It's a spiritual survival instinct, but it generates mutual destruction. Now I ask you, are you sucking or being sucked? Have you ever felt drained after helping someone emotionally? Have you ever noticed that there are people who only get close when they need it, and who never listen to you, never strengthen you, and just pour out their pain? This is more common than it seems, and it can be very dangerous if you don't know how to protect yourself. But don't worry, there's a way to identify and defend yourself. The first step is awareness. Who do you feel is pulling you down every time they show up? What kind of environment makes you feel drained? What kind of conversation makes your energy drain? Because believe me, the soul feels what the eyes don't see. You can even try to rationalize it, but the body shows it. If, after a phone call or a date, you feel chills, fatigue, sudden sadness, your energy field is screaming for help. And the most dangerous thing is when this repeats itself and becomes normal. You get used to always being tired, always lacking energy, without realizing that you are slowly being emptied. And then there is the other side. The side that no one likes to admit. What if you are the one who is draining others? That's right. Sometimes, without meaning to, you may be in such a difficult moment, so spiritually unbalanced, that you start to seek in others what you should seek within yourself or in God. And then, every conversation becomes a venting, every coexistence becomes emotional dependence, and you start to feed on the light of the other. But this light does not hold, and the result is that both become ill. One loses energy, the other loses himself in pain. And it is not about pushing everyone away or living in distrust. It is about understanding that spirituality is responsibility. It is about taking care of your field, protecting your mind, clearing your emotions, and learning to shield yourself. And this shielding begins with conscious choices. Who you hang out with, what you consume, what you believe, what you allow into your home, your heart, your soul. So pay attention to the signs. Waking up tired, even after sleeping well, can be more than a physical problem. It can be a soul exhausted by the burdens it has received. Feeling heavy in certain environments can be more than perception. It can be spiritual sensitivity. Instinctively avoiding certain people can be divine intuition. What you feel has value. Listen, observe, and if necessary, distance yourself. Because there are bonds that are not of love. They are chains. There are relationships that are not blessings. They are drains. And the worst part, sometimes energy vampirism is disguised as friendship, care, even family. That's why spiritual discernment is essential. It's not enough to be good. You need to be protected. The spiritual world is constantly moving, and attacks don't always come in the form of fear. Sometimes they come in the form of a hug. If you feel like this video is speaking to you, comment below, "I want to protect myself." That way, you help the channel and also declare to the spiritual world that you are attentive, awake, and ready to strengthen yourself. And now that you understand that energy vampirism exists, that it may be closer than you imagined, and that we are all subject to these invisible exchanges, let's move on to the next part. Because the most important part comes now. How to identify, how to break this cycle, and, most importantly, how to protect yourself spiritually from those who drain your energy, even if it's someone you love. Because real danger doesn't always come from far away. Sometimes it lives with you, sleeps next to you, or lives under the same roof every day. Have you ever noticed how certain people completely change the atmosphere just by walking into a room? They don't have to say anything, their presence is enough. Suddenly the air feels heavier. Conversations have gone cold, your body feels uncomfortable, and your soul seems to retreat. This is real. This is energy. And when this energy is charged, unbalanced, or toxic, it can merge with yours like a dark cloud spreading over your field of light. And the question is, how do you deal with this when it comes from someone you love? When the person who drains you is your partner, your mother, your brother, a close friend. You don't want to walk away. You don't want to hurt them, but you realize that you are withering away spiritually every time you give yourself to them. And that's where the crucial point comes in, the balance between empathy and self-preservation. You can't heal someone if you're broken. You can't lift someone up if they're down. And even with all your compassion, you must not become the emotional battery of those who refuse to renew themselves. True love also knows how to say no. It also knows how to set limits. Because when you exhaust yourself for another person, without them changing, you are not helping. You are only delaying their awakening process and accelerating your own collapse. And so you ask me, how do I protect myself from these influences without abandoning people? The answer lies in your vibration. The higher your spiritual frequency, the more resistant your field will be. This means cultivating prayer, inner silence, herbal baths, clean environments, positive thoughts, and a sincere connection with the divine. It is like shielding your soul with armor of light. Those who vibrate high are not easily affected, and when they are, they clean themselves quickly, because they are vigilant. Have you ever noticed how, after an intense outburst or an encounter with someone very negative, you feel the need to take a shower, open the windows, take a deep breath? This is instinctive, but it is also spiritual. It is your body asking for purification. Energy permeates clothes, walls, objects, and even more so, your mind. That's why, in addition to external cleaning, you need to cleanse yourself internally, re-evaluate your conversations. Think about it. How many of them elevate you? How many drag you down? With whom can you be yourself? And with whom can you only survive on the defensive? Spiritual energy is shaped according to what you allow, according to what you tolerate. And the more you tolerate what drains you, the weaker you become spiritually. Not out of malice, but out of exhaustion. And here comes a very important point: self-knowledge. Sometimes energy vampirism comes from outside, but sometimes it comes from within. It comes from your unresolved guilt, accumulated hurts, pent-up resentment, and unspoken words. You yourself may be draining your vital energy by maintaining patterns that should have been broken a long time ago. So, in addition to protecting yourself from others, also learn to heal yourself. Releasing forgiveness, letting go of the past, choosing lightness, letting go of those who do not want to. Evolve. This is practical spirituality. This is love for yourself. And this kind of love is not selfishness, it is spiritual survival. And make no mistake, the spiritual world observes what you tolerate. It responds to what you emanate. If you cancel to keep others alive, you vibrate scarcity. If you silence your pain so as not to bother them, you attract even more overload. But if you value yourself, if you choose to strengthen yourself, if you take care of your peace like a treasure, then the light begins to protect you naturally. Did you know that certain spiritual attacks find no way out when the heart is at peace? That envy cannot be sustained in the face of a balanced spirit? That other people's negativity dissipates when you are focused on your mission? That's right. Your best shield is your awakened conscience. It is knowing who you are, where your light comes from, and how far you are willing to give of yourself. And at this moment, I invite you to reflect sincerely. What is your limit? Have you been giving too much of yourself? Have you felt that little by little your strength is fading and your light is going out? So declare here in the comments, I choose to preserve my energy. This is more than a phrase. It is a spiritual act of protection. It is the beginning of a new phase in your journey. Let's continue together, because in the next part, we will talk about how to identify energetically charged environments, how the signals from your body and soul alert you when something is not right, and what practical steps you can take today to recover your stolen energy. If you are not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe now, activate the bell, and share this video with those who need to wake up to this reality. Energy vampirism is silent, but the damage is real. And the more awareness, the more liberation. You are not alone. You are being awakened.